Hey guys, what's going on? This is King Kyrie here, and I'm making this video. I feel like it's a long time coming, um, because the way that this game is going, it's like the developers are like trying to shoot themselves in the foot. This video is about the 5-star situation. I know everyone, wants to have all the shiny new toys and get all the 5 stars, but the way that the game is set up now, throwing money at those 5 stars doesn't really do anything, but it lets you get them. Yeah, sure, but you really can't ascend them. So if I go to my inventory, oh, where am I going? Okay, go to my inventory. I've got one Damascus blade from the recent Farm Home Pass that just happened, and then I've got all this stuff. But then I go to my heroes, and when it comes to options to ascend something, I mean, they're rather mediocre, with the exception of, some of the event heroes that I could possibly have. But I've got so many of them that at this point it's like, who cares who I ascend? Because my options are so numerous. Um, and I wondered why or how that happened. And thinking about it, I've gotten really lucky. I've showed my roster to people before, and they're like, "Oh, you must have spent a lot of money." I'm like, "Not really. Did I spend? Yeah, of course, but I was cheap to play. Now I'm free to play because I've got so much to work with that there's no point in me spending money on this game." Um, I come up here. I've got all those coins, not all, but there's four that I haven't spent from the last Sand Empire because I ended up using only coins, and I pulled not one but two rock. Where's the other one? Did I eat him? No, he's here. I pulled two rock. I think they were like three pulls apart, and so I was like, huh. I'm not pushing my luck, and I just quit. I'm saving, my coins for whenever the new Halloween characters come out. I know I already have this Victor here, which I pulled on a coin, and I pulled this Max Victor up here in a 10 pull. So let me just go through my roster and tell you guys how I got these characters. So this Marjana, and then there's one down below. I pulled them both on a elemental 10 pool before I had any like idea of how to play the game. I was like, what does this mean? And I hit the 10 pool button, and I got, two Marjana. At that point I already had some characters. I'd already spent a little bit. But I had Zim. I think, yes, I had Zim at the time, and I was like, huh, let's see what happens when I do this whole elemental 10 pool. I know Marjana was featured, and I didn't have a red sniper, and I was like, huh. And then I ended up pulling two over from that 110 pool. Gravemaker, he was actually on my last cheap to play purchase. I didn't purchase anything after I bought the gems for a tin pool when Gravemaker was featured. Now I was after Clarissa, so and I got her. But when I hit the tin pool, I was really surprised that Gravemaker came out as number two. And of course, I got the materials as quickly as possible to ascend him, and that's what I did. Red Hood was a free pool. Yeah, I don't know how I ended up getting her because that was back then when they didn't even have the Alice in Wonderland, and it was a long time ago. I forgot how I got her, but I had enough gems, I think, for one pull, and I was like, the event's ending in a couple of minutes. Let's just try it, and I pulled her, and so I ascended her. I think after Zim. Yeah, I think Red Hood was my second ascend. Ares, and let's see, Anari, and Ares number two down here were all in the same 30 pool. I did a 30 pool during Atlantis because my alliance was like, oh, Anari's going to be so good. Oh, Mitsuko's going to be so good. So I was like, okay, I'm about it. I dropped some money, and I did a 30 pool, and she popped out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was also when I think Zim was available. And so I ended up getting, I think, 7 or 8 copies of Zim, and I've fed them away since, but I ended up with a bunch of Zim. Um, I really, 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 really wanted Evelyn because I didn't have Panther. So when they had announced Evelyn was going to be coming out during like the Christmas event, I did drop some money, not looking for these heroes in particular, but I ended up getting in my hunt for Evelyn both Santa Claus and Mother North in the same tin pool, and I was so ecstatic. But when the tin pool was over, I didn't get Evelyn, so I did another tin pool, nothing, another tin pool, nothing, and then finally my third or fourth tin pool when I was out of gems. It was I was literally like going to have like 16 gems left over. I ended up with 2 copies of Evelyn, and I made sure to max her as quickly as possible because she is, I think, my favorite green offensive hero. Anyway, let's go. Kunchin was a coin pool. I wasn't gunning for him. Drake, when he first came out, I was still relatively new. I didn't know much about Heroes of the Month, and I ended up pulling so many copies of him accidentally. I wasn't even spending money. I think it came out. He came out what during Sand Empire, and I was using coins and stuff. And so I ended up getting, I think, 3 copies of him. But me being so inexperienced, I didn't think to, keep dupes. So I fed those away. And I thoroughly regret it because I feel my yellows are my weakest. But that's beside the point. I told you how I got the Victor. I told you how I got Clarissa. Sashat was on a 10 pool, and I also ended up with Captain Kestrel. That was during the Pirates event. I ended up with Captain Kestrel as well. And then I got another shot down below. I was doing Atlantis coin pools, and I ended up pulling her again. Jean Francois, I don't know how I got him. I think it was a coin pool. I don't have any dupes of him, so I don't think I was actively looking for him. You guys know how I got Zim. I got Rygard costume by using the free keys. Anzog was a free coin pool. I did put money down for Frida. Vila was a coin pool first because I did it during the Christmas event again because I got Grimble and I was like, oh, okay, so I have Grimble. Let's see if I can get some more. And I think I had like 18 or 19 gold coins at the time, and I ended up pulling her. So I stopped. But then during the costume event, I ended up pulling a dupe with, I think, Gunner. Magni came from a training camp. So Missandra, I ended up with 5 copies of her, and it blew my mind because I did a couple of 10 pulls to get something, ended up getting nothing. Um, but then I did a bunch of single pulls using the gems or the coins for Atlantis, and then I'm pulling this bitch 4 separate times on individual coin pools, and I was like, huh, well, might as well max her, so I did. Albie was my first hero of the month. I got him when he first was released. I actually pulled a couple of copies of him. It's when I first started spending on this game. I didn't really know much about it, but it said, you get a bonus for spending. It was like when you first sign up for the game and they try to entice you into buying gems. So it was like, oh, end up with this incredible offer. So I bought the offer and I ended up pulling, I think, 2 copies of Albie. I fed, of course, the other one away like a dumbass, and then I ended up with Isarnia on that 10 pool. Neath coin pool. I don't know how I got her. I wasn't looking for her. She just showed up. I did drop money for Kingston. Um, I'm not sure who. I think that was during Wonderland. And I also ended up, yeah, it was during Wonderland because I also ended up pulling Queen of Hearts. The first, that's the one I pulled the Queen of Hearts. Mist. I don't know where I got this. No, I lied. So Ratatusker or Ratatus, whatever, and Mist. I pulled them both in the same 30 pool because I was like, let's show some support and do a 30 pool. And that I did a 30 pool and ended up with Ratatusker and Mist and a couple of others, of course, but I don't think anyone noteworthy. Telluria, I dropped money for this one, of course. When she came out, everyone was, going crazy for her. And I think I ended up pulling her on Valhalla because I think that she was released when Valhalla came out for the first time, maybe. I'm not sure, but I know I got Ratatoskr and Telluria around the same time. Tarlock, I honestly don't know where I got this Tarlock from. Maybe I did a 30 pool when Atlantis had come out. I don't know. But I think I did pay for this one. I have another one that I got with Atlantis coins. Alice and the Mad Hatter. During, I think, the Easter event, I was feeling lucky because I ended up pulling this guy here with a coin. So I was like, let's do a 10 pool. I always wanted Mad Hatter. I always wanted Mad Hatter. And he was the second one to show up on that 10 pool. And after that, in the same 10 pool, I think Alice showed up ninth or 10th. And I was like, jaw on the floor, like, seriously? I've been after these two, well, these three since Wonderland came out, and to get both Alice and Hatter in the same tin pool, I was ecstatic. Gregorian, I don't know how I got him. I probably paid to get him because there was no way to get Heroes of the Month other than paying, or not. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna lie. At that time, I think I was heavy into paying to get Heroes of the Month, so I think I did pay to get him, and then I maxed him. Delilah, that was, I don't know how I got her. She was one of my first Heroes of the Month too in my first Max Yellow. June came from the keys because I'm not paying. I'm sorry, I'm not paying for the costumes. A Gear, I don't know how I got him. I wasn't actively searching for him, but I ended up pulling him. Jackal, I just did a pool for the Guardians going after Panther. I paid for Jackal, and I don't have any 5-star Guardian. Unfortunate, but oh well. I got Rock Atomos. I was so pissed. So I got him as a single pool with all the Atlantis coins that I had saved. I had saved enough because this was before Atlantis Rises, enough for a single pool, and that's when Poseidon was available, and that was before I had June. So I was like, please, 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 if I get a 5-star, please don't let it be a Tomos. And the fucked up part was I actually started a thread on the forums about Atomos, saying when I saw him that the beta testers need to convince SG to do something with this guy because he fucking sucks. And I guess I put my foot in my mouth because beta testers didn't like that I asked them to, do me a favor and talk to SG about it. But that was before I knew that beta testing really didn't mean much. So I don't feel, well, I do feel something for them, now. But at the same time, I don't feel like they could have done anything now that I know that. But anyway, I digress. I pulled a Tomos and I was pissed. I started cussing and I almost fed him away. I'm glad I didn't. As you can see, I started leveling him up, but he's always gotten pushed back based off of other needs and other things. But I think for my next green, I will go ahead and get him to 370, and I'll figure out who to send after that. I'm thinking of doing Liana. You know how I got Santa. You know I got this Marjana. Thorn here, I ended up getting him in a training camp. Ranveer, I don't know how I got Ranveer. Yes, I do. I lied. So he came out during the Sand Empire last year, and that's how I ended up getting him. And I was like, well, I just used a coin, got nothing, and then I got the bonus here of the month, so I'm gonna stop, and I stopped. Guardian Jackal, same thing with Guardian Falcon, same thing as Guardian Jackal. Tothamon, my second hero of the month, I got before I started paying. I don't know how I got him. I only have one copy of him. I think I've only ever had one copy of him, but I enjoy him. Obacon, training camp. You know how I got Isari. You know how I got Inari. Kagan, don't know how I got him. He was my first Max Red 5. Kage, I ended up getting in a 30 pool. Yes, I got him in a 30 pool. So it was the same Atlantis as Gravemaker. So I did a 30 pool first, looking for Clarissa. Ended up pulling Kage and the other Ranveer that I have down below. And then I did that 10 pool, and then that's when I ended up with Clarissa and Gravemaker. Melosi, I don't know how I got him. Lie, I lie. I was using coins during Easter, and that's when I pulled Sir Roosley, and then I got him as a bonus. Grimble was a bonus during Christmas before, and then I don't know where I got this Kiona. I think I paid for Kiona. I got Hatter, I got Queen of Hearts. El Cannon, Domitia, Sartana, training camps. I paid for Mirweave and Brynhild, Caitlyn, Richard, Liana, Vivica, Leonidas, training camps. And then these heroes down here, some I paid for, some I got on free coin pools. Valeria was actually in the same 10 pool as I got the first Victor. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, so all of these down here are training camps. I ran 3 training camps for I think a year to get all of season 1 heroes, season 1 5-star heroes. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. The point that I'm trying to make is this: I'm not trying to brag. I did get lucky, I will admit, but that's part of the point that I'm trying to make. All of this is luck based. If you think about it, because I thought about it and I was like, huh, that's bullshit. Most of the heroes that I have and that I use are heroes that I got lucky with, heroes that I didn't actively seek. And the reason why I was able to get so many 5 stars is because nowadays obtaining a 5 star is like snapping your fingers. There's so many ways to do it. You've got Tavern of Legends, which is garbage. Don't do that. You've got the Costume Chamber, which is decent, even though it is all season 1 heroes. I mean, you do have the potential of getting an updated version of a season 1 hero in a different costume. You've got the challenge events. You've got the Valhalla portal, the Atlantis portal. You've got Heroes of the Month, which I have in abundance, and you also have these elemental summons, which, if you are relatively new to the game, are I think they're quite vital. And then you got so many ways of obtaining these things with coins. Let's go and take a look, because I told myself after the first Valhalla that I'm not going to make the same mistake I did with Atlantis. Where is like the regular stuff? Is it? Oh yeah, here it is. So I used some coins originally, but with Valhalla coins, I'm not spending any of them until the very end because I've gotten lucky with coins. I will try using coin pools after everything is said and done in the hopes of pulling something good. Um, with Atlantis, in my opinion, a lot of the better heroes came later on. So you had Kage, Ariel, Poseidon, and Ursina, who I think people would argue are the top. Well, along with I guess Tarlock too, but Tarlock has been sort of replaced by Mickey. But those 4 aforementioned, I think, are the cream of the crop for the 5 stars. Mitsuko can be pretty decent, yes, but she is not a staple. She's not someone that's like, ooh, I've got to have her, because I know Vila's a problem, for some perhaps, but she is. Mitsuko is not, in my opinion, a necessity. Kage does something unique. Ariel is just a badass. I think she's the best 5 star healer. And you got Ursina, who is ridiculously overpowered. She should not have the potential to deal as much damage as she does, yet for some reason she is still doing it. And she also has that insane color counter, which is nuts. I don't know. And then you've got Poseidon, who is a better version of June. I mean, let's just be real. And also, he is a off-color counter to Telluria. So those 4 are legitimately like the best. So far with Valhalla, I have not been too impressed. That's one of the main reasons I've been saving my coins. I already have Reditusker, which I think is one of the best from Valhalla because he is a 5 star green healer at average speed, which I don't think there is one. I mean, if you count Telluria and Tarlock, then yeah, there were 2 before. But at the same time, like a healer that heals significant amounts of life, he is in a league of his own. His class sucks though. I wish he would have been a rogue, like because squirrels are really squirrely. They like to dodge and shit. That would have been a much better class for him. But you know what? It's their game. I'll let them live their life. Um, but to my point, let's go and take a look at my alliance because I got my mom into this game, and people told me that I was fucking crazy for doing that. Here she is. She's not a spender. She doesn't spend, and yet she was able to pull all of these motherfuckers. I will take that back. So I did pull Ariel, but I pulled it for her account. So she was like, "What do I do with all these coins?" And I'm like, "Well, what are they?" They're the Atlantis coins. Like, well, when Atlantis comes up, I'll show you. And I spent all her coins for her. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "That's what they're used for, mom. You spend the coins and you open the chest." And I think Ariel showed up when I hit the button for the fifth or sixth time, and I just stared at the phone. I just stared at it. And I was like, huh. She's like, what? What happened? I was like, you just pulled this bitch I've been after forever. Because I've been after Ariel forever. I dropped money when Ariel was available and I didn't get shit from it. Like, I didn't get anything. And I was like, huh, fuck this game. And so she ended up getting tears. She was like, "Hey, is this guy good?" And she sent me a picture, and I was like, "Motherfucker, how'd you get him?" And she spent coins, and she pulled him. Same thing with Norns. She pulled coins and pulled Norns, and I'm like, "You lucky bitch." And I thought about it, and it's like there's so many ways of getting five-star heroes nowadays, good five-star heroes, that there's no point in spending money in this game. All of this has been leading up to this. I've said it earlier in the video, and I sort of got sidetracked with explaining how I got and obtained my roster. But the point is that we should, as a group, stop spending money because there's no point. You will end up with so many heroes that you don't know what to do with that it becomes kind of boring. Like, and there's no real excitement to it. And so I really, 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 really want people to take a step back. If you have an addiction, that's one thing. You really can't stop that unless you seek professional help, which I highly recommend because this game can be addictive. I've seen some people drop some crazy cash and get nothing and still come back for more. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but we need to, as a group, decide how we want this game to work because you got a company who's not really listening to us at the moment, as if they ever did. But it seems like now more so than anything that they are just saying, fuck the fans, fuck the people that play this game, fuck people that have lined their pockets with money. And so that's one of my main factors of going cheap to play to begin with. But then after realizing that all of this stuff that I've got, I could have obtained the way that my mother has, and she also has other heroes too. I can't really go in and look at her roster, which I think is bogus. I think everyone should be able to have their roster open to the public. If there were a feature saying, hey, click here to view their roster, and you could see the heroes they have, that would be amazing. Because my mom also pulled a Liana. She's pulled Leonidas. She's got Cadlin from training camp. She's got Noor. She did something during Atlantis and pulled Noor and asked me if she was good. And I was like, no, she's not. But the point is, my mom's been playing for a little over a year, and she already has, I think, 12 five-star heroes. After my first year of playing this game, I think I had maybe five or six. So obtaining a five-star hero may not be the one you want, may not be the one you need, but it will happen. And there's no point in spending. So if you're going to go out of your way to spend and get upset, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to end this. I just want y'all to understand my perspective. Whatever. King Kyrie signing off. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me if you, as a player, are cheap to play, free to play, or pay to play. Because and tell me what your roster looks like. If your roster, in your opinion, is worth it. Tell me if you've gotten lucky like me or like my mother. Because I believe that I was extremely fortunate with this account and the pools that I've gotten.